Hello and welcome to the iconic, the legendary 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. This car looks absolutely beautiful in a champagne gold metallic here, and today we aren't just gonna make it look good, but we are gonna make it perform incredibly well by actually engine swapping the V8 out of the new Camaro Zl1 and put modern power to match the classic looks. So it should make for a very spicy build, and if you guys do going to enjoy this video, well, hit that like and subscribe button. Now when it comes to the vehicle in its standard form, that's what we're gonna check out first. So the vehicle with its standard engine, it produces 289 brake horsepower with a weight of 1415 kgs. Now this power is given through a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8, the pure heart of America. That is what you get with the Camaro Z28, and you get all of this for the low price of 105,000 credits. Or in fact, if you've completed menu book 15 in Gran Turismo 7, well, you already have this vehicle, so you might actually be sleeping on an absolute gem. Now when it comes to handling in Gran Turismo 7 for the Camaro Z28, now this old girl still got a bit of oomph left in her. Now when coming around Kyoto driving park, this car is an absolute blast. Now we need to keep in mind it is a classic American vehicle. Well, it's a classic car in general, and you aren't gonna experience neck breaking performance out of it. But this old girl can still get down, stepping out the rear end every time you come into a corner. Well, most of the time when you come into a corner, well, you're just gonna have to really just control it and rein it in if you don't want the rear end to step out. Otherwise the rear end will just glide out. It's such a peaceful vehicle to drive. At no time are you thinking, oh, okay, you know what, this is a bit scary, it's a bit out of hand, it's not following my instructions. It's such a peaceful and calming vehicle to drive, and you hear the iconic V8 roar in the background, and it's just overall a very pleasant driving experience. It is an amazing vehicle. Now cars like this, I expected this car to be well over the 200,000 figure, but it's not. The car is quite cheap, and now in its standard form look, as I said, it's not extremely fast. You are able to take corners flat out, and that's because you aren't really going fast enough to end up running into a barrier. But even with the braking system, it can do with some upgrading. Let's say you want to use this vehicle to compete against modern vehicles. Well, if you head on over to a tuning shop and spend quite a bit of your credits, well, you're gonna find yourself with an absolute beast. Now after spending a lot of money, you're gonna be left with 796 brake horsepower and a weight of 1103 kgs, making the vehicle rather lightweight and having an extremely high power output, which could be extremely scary. Now if we head on over to GT Auto, we see that we actually have visual customization, where we have two options for a front splitter, we have one option for the rear bumper, as well as we still have an option to either remove the rear wing, or we can add our own custom wing. This is a very crucial thing because with Gran Turismo 7 and its classic cars, they often lack downforce. However, that is not the case with the Z28. This car, you are able to max out the downforce and actually help this vehicle out a lot when it comes to cornering. Now with over, well, almost 800 brake horsepower, this car is absolutely no slouch. You're gonna see yourself traveling well over 270 kilometers per hour around Kyoto driving park. This car actually needs its gears extended before you actually set off because it will redline. That's how fast this car actually climbs speed. Now when it comes to cornering, and that's the big thing, now when you have big horsepower in these classic vehicles in Gran Turismo 7, they don't really handle the power the best. Now with the Camaro Z28, depending on your driving style, you might agree with that statement or you might not, because the Z28, you can get it to go around corners with absolute ease, you can get it to step its rear end out, but you can keep the vehicle in line. The car, yes, it does want to have fun, it wants to put a smile on your face, but if you want to be serious and take it around a circuit as fast as possible, you can do exactly that without even batting an eyelid. The car is extremely fast when it comes to braking, it slows you down accordingly to get you around corners with absolute precision, and I love that from the Z28. Now I am gonna go over a Mustang in tomorrow's video, so if you don't want to miss out on that, hit that subscribe button. Now the Z28 being fully upgraded, you do need to be careful because the vehicle can spin out if you aren't paying attention. You do need to drive with your eyes open. By that I mean, don't just daydream, don't wander off. You need to pay attention to what you're doing when driving this vehicle, otherwise you will pay the piper. Now you aren't here for the standard engine being fully upgraded, you want to see that modern power in a classic body. So for 139,750 credits, you can purchase the LT4 out of the modern Camaro, and that's gonna leave you with 649 brake horsepower, and it actually adds a bit of weight to the Camaro. However, once you leave GT Auto after engine swapping a vehicle and head on over to the tuning shop, well, you're gonna see that power level, well, that power figure reach over 1000 brake horsepower, 1004 brake horsepower to be exact. Now adding on another 200 horsepower to this vehicle is gonna make for some exciting, well, some butt clenching moments, because with no traction on and the vehicle having around 800 horsepower, it was fun, but you could see that you were borderline pushing the limits. Now with adding that extra 200, yeah, you push straight through it. If there was a barrier, you just went straight through it. There's no saving you now, you are deep in it. And the rear wheels light up every single time you put your foot on the accelerator. This is the best Camaro you can get in Gran Turismo 7 because it has the best of both worlds, modern performance and classic looks. But the modern performance in this vehicle is actually controllable. Now depending on your skill level or even the tune that you're running in this vehicle, you might say, it's just one of those vehicles that can't handle power, or you might even end up saying this is one of the best vehicles you've driven in a long time. And I think that's actually what I'm gonna say about this Camaro. The Camaro is insanely fast, it puts a smile on your face, it's just such a joyful experience to get behind the wheel of. Now when it comes to using this vehicle for racing in Gran Turismo 7, you can use it to put it up against your modern supercars, sports cars. The Camaro will give them a run for their money. However, when it comes to money grinding events in Gran Turismo 7, I wouldn't recommend it. That big old V8 is not friendly when it comes to fuel economy, but I mean, hey, that's not the point of this vehicle. It's just to put a smile on your face and to enjoy this classic American icon. Because the problem with a lot of classic cars in Gran Turismo 7 is, yes, they have a lot of legacy, but there's no real reason for players to touch them if they aren't interested in the legacy. So with us being able to have over 1000 horsepower in a vehicle just like this, well, it just brings the player base to actually try this vehicle out more. So Camaro Z28 with the Zl1 engine in it is an absolute blast, scary to control but fun to experience, and it's just such a lovely vehicle. For roughly under 500,000 credits, That's even that's pushing it. You are gonna experience one heck of a vehicle and possibly one of the best Chevrolet Camaros in Gran Turismo 7. So with those being said, I hope you guys did go on to enjoy this video. Don't forget, leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.